Well, folks, welcome to Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willis, your host. This is Politics Done Right on the road. Politics Done Right is heading out right now. We're heading out to check a few things out at a press conference at the Houston, the Harris County Democratic Party. So we have to be out there to make sure that things are there as we think they should. And you know what, folks? It looks like it's happening. Some things that we have to get done. Anyhow, how are my peeps doing? Welcome to Politics Done Right again. We are here again, wherever it goes. This is a new setup that I'm trying. Again, it's using some mobile streams, and we want to see how it works. I'll be waiting for you to tell me how it works, if it worked out fine for you, etc., etc., etc. Next question is, can you guys hear me? I can see folks listening from Twitch. Great, +1. Hola, says Bridge. MCP. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, anyway, I won't be looking at the chats except when I'm stopping because I have to be safe as I do this. Did you see what happened on the Senate floor today with that senator when he actually challenged the Labor guy to a duel, to a fight? Can you believe that? He challenged them to a fight. Politics Done Right on the road. Yes, that's what it is, folks. He challenged them to a fight. And Bernie Sanders had to come in and make peace. Can you believe that? Bernie Sanders had to come in to make peace. Okay, I'm at a stop so I can actually take a quick peek at the messages. I promised my daughter I would be 100% in control of the road as I did this. Yes, there's a lot of infighting. There's a lot of infighting, folks. There's a lot of infighting. Take a day off. No, I don't want to take a day off. You know why I don't want to take a day off? I tell you why. Because things don't stop when the politics doesn't stop, right? Things doesn't stop. And if I'm asking folks to stay engaged, I have to lead by example to stay engaged. And if there are methods now with technology that allows us to do that, then we do so. And not only that, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to be out here on the road as we do Politics Done Right, and we're able to do it on every single channel. Because as we test these cases, we'll be able to do this more and more on the cheap. Remember, we have corporations that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to do what I am doing here with an economic setup that, guess what? That you all, the PDR posse, I'm at a stop right now so I can actually take a quick look. I'm at a stop right now so I can I'm doing it all safely. I'm doing it all safely, folks. I'm doing it all safely. Meaning I'm not looking at the cameras, I'm looking at the road. I'm making sure to do all that is right and tell you what the topics of the day are. You know, earlier today at KPFT, I covered whether the Republican Party is really the party of life. As we know, as we are going through state after state, as they bring up the abortion issues, state after state, women are speaking with their vote. Women are speaking with their vote. And as doing so means Republicans are getting their clocks cleaned. Why? Because the party of freedom, the party of life, is doing all that prevents life. I find it amusing that the party that believes in life are really anathema to life. Anybody wants to comment on that? It would be quite interesting for them to comment on that. Anyhow, folks, there's something that's been on my mind for a long time. You guys know that I said I was going to cover every single day. I was going to have a special word about Israel. I want everybody to notice something about today. There is a big march, a huge march in Washington, D.C. right now. A pro-Israel march. I really would have preferred them to call it a pro-life march. But it's a pro-Israel march. And the mainstream media is giving it a lot of play. They're showing all kinds of angles with a lot of people. Now, if you recall, last week, I think it was last week, we had a whole lot of Jewish people flood the Capitol, flood the lawn in Washington, D.C. And while they got coverage, the coverage that they gave wasn't a coverage of life. This group wanting life. It was a coverage that said, well, you know, they are protesting. This is a left-wing. These are left-wing Jews, as if they're not Jews as well. These are left-wing Jews, as if there was something wrong with that. And the fact of the matter is that what they were supporting were not just the rights and the life of Jews, but the rights and life of Palestinians and everybody else. How comes whenever the media is talking about these particular groups, we don't hear it from the position of life? But when we talk about this act in Israel right now, all we hear is, well, you know, what Hamas did, Israel has absolute right to defend itself. Yes, Israel has absolute right to defend itself. But those Palestinians who have done nothing to Israel have absolute right to exist as well, don't they? Don't they? So let's be fair here. Jesus was a Ashley, I like that. School it, Ashley, school it. Jesus was a Palestinian. By the way, folks, I don't, like I said, this is the first time that I'm doing it this way. So what I'd like to know is, what's the quality of the sound? What is the quality of the video? I probably won't be able to see right now. Take a look at unless I stop, I can't take a look at the chat. So please tell me, what is the quality of the video? Oh, I'm at a stop. Let's see if somebody got that. Tell me what's the quality of the video, what's the quality of the audio. Okay, great. I heard there are sometimes some hiccups, etc. Good. Anyhow, folks, give me a subject. At the next stop, give me a subject. What do you want me to say at the next subject? I have some topics, but before I get into the topics, like I tell my people at KPFT, you come first. So, it sounds good. Video kind of blurry. Yeah, I imagine it's because of where I'm at. I think actually, Bridge, go ahead and do a favor for me. Resync your video by doing a refresh, because what happens is sometimes YouTube tries to adjust dynamically to the stream that's coming out, and they give you the best stream they can and the best algorithm to analyze the stream as they can. Okay, I'm at a stop, so if you guys can tell me the subject that you want me to cover right now. I'm looking at it. Breach, I don't know, the video looks better than the home setup. Oh, really? You prefer the video than the home setup? Okay, if you say so. Breach says, yes, video is clear on YouTube. Wow, I love that. I love that. Well, you know, maybe if I get to the press conference in time, we can also do that. You know, we can also do that. That is excellent. Refresh worked all good. I'm glad to hear that. Ashley says the video is clear. Hamas drives the structure of the world. Okay, let's keep on coming. Let's see. But anyhow, we're here talking. I have more subjects, but I want to hear, while I can still read before I get onto the highway, I want you guys to tell me what you want me to talk about specifically, because when I hit the highway, I probably can't look down at the chat. So if you give me a couple of subjects, I can elaborate on that, my peeps. I can elaborate on that, my peeps. Natural light is the best light. Yes, it is. Hey, let's see. Eyes on the road. I will keep the eyes on the road while I'm moving, my dear daughter. Ashley wants to make sure that I do it right. And I promised her that I would do it right. and I am doing it right. While I stop, I can look at the screen. While I'm moving, I'm looking straight at the road and only the road. Yes, ma'am. Your wish is my command. Egberto, maybe you should take a break for a day. I've been away from politics for a few days. Anything to contribute today? All right. Yes, I can tell you what's happening. I'll do that. I'll go ahead and elapse on what I think are the major subjects of the day. So Rudnin has his requests. Any other requests? Come on in. Come on in. Any other requests? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. So the topics of discussion is one, the 2025, I think it's called Trump 2025 or something like that, and the plans that he have for the country. That's number one. Number two, we also have the Palestinian issue. I request you focus on driving, is what Ashley says. And what else? What else do you guys want me to focus on? Other than driving, which I will be focusing on driving 100%. You know, it's like, today Ashley went to the gym, folks. And, she called me to tell me she's on her way home. And as she's driving home, she's telling me. And I said, okay, babe, did you feel unsafe as you were talking to me as you drove home? And she said, no. So I said, that's what I'm going to be doing to the PDR posse. I will be talking to the PDR posse, concentrating on the road, just like you were concentrating on the road, speaking to me. Don't you think that's fair, guys? Okay, I won't be looking at the screen now because I'm here heading out to the freeway. And as I get to the freeway, I will be driving 100% safely. Okay. Let's hit on the subject that Rudnin spoke about now. He said he was away from the news for several days. There's a theme with Heinrich. I don't remember the name. The two name of the guys, McKinnon and Ham. They have a show called The Circus, and Steve Bannon appeared on The Circus, and he did a little piece that should, when they did a questioning of Steve Bannon, it should scare us all. Because first of all, Steve Bannon reiterated something that we talk about all of the time. And one of the things that he reiterated is that Donald Trump is just the representation, the current representative of a movement that has been under establishment for some time now. That right-wing fascist movement. It's not a Trump creation, but Trump was, as we would say in Spanish, sumamente puesto, in the right position at the right time to execute this movement. He was the right guy. He was brash. He did things in the White House nobody would have attempted to do. Hey, he had the balls to do it, and he did it. Dumb, but he did it. So when they asked Steve Bannon about 2025, Steve Bannon spoke about they have 5 things that they're concentrating on. And I don't remember the order of the 5 things. But one of the things that they said they would do is prosecute Joe Biden. How are they going to prosecute Joe Biden? Oh, they're going to impeach Joe Biden. They want to rough up Joe Biden. So I don't know what's their real fear or why they so much want to attack Joe Biden. I am not sure. Joe Biden is one of the... Look, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. But Joe Biden is not a bad guy, okay? He has a lot of old-fashioned ways, a lot of the old things that they did before. Hey, that may be true for Joe Biden, but the guy's not a bad guy. Moreover, his kids served in the military. I mean, something that Trump forbade his kids from doing. But anyway, they want to go after Joe Biden. What is the second thing that they want to do? They want to create camps to set up and deport 10 million undocumented workers. Wow. I repeat, on their agenda is to deport 10 million undocumented workers. Now, I sit back and wonder, who are the designers of these types of policies or these wish lists that, a lot of times we like to say, well, they can talk about it because it's not attainable. I'm going to get back to it in a minute, but I want to talk about talking about things that are not attainable. Do you remember when overturning Roe versus Wade was not attainable and they did it? Do you remember when electing a person like Donald Trump without the majority of the people supporting him was unattainable? Do you remember that? There are a lot of things that we thought were absolutely unattainable that somehow, because of one, the undemocratic nature of the United States, again, 2 senators per state irrespective of the population, gerrymandered districts where the amount of representatives population does not reflect the sentiments of the population. We can go item over item over item where, theoretically speaking, these things shouldn't happen that actually happen, right? We can do that. We can do that. So now, the next thing is, after having 4 years of Donald Trump, is it possible that we would elect that again? And while I would like to believe no, unfortunately, the effective cauterization of dumbness in our country is in full vogue. What do I mean by that? You know how for decades now the Republican Party have been after teachers. They've been after what's taught in school. They've been after all these things one after the other. And it's, people would wonder, why are they messing with schools? Why are they messing with high schools, elementary schools, colleges, all these particular issues? Why are they doing this? And people just think short term. Oh, they're just stupid. That's why they do it. But the long-term goal is this: to remove your ability to critical think does not occur overnight. In other words, we don't go ahead and say, we are gonna teach Americans how to stop critical thinking. It doesn't happen overnight. It is something that has to be cultivated. It is something that has to grow. You have to plant the seed. After you plant the seed, you have to fertilize it. You got to water it. You got to give it good sunlight, etc. And whereas progressives, well, not progressive, but mostly Democrats and some progressives have been just thinking that these things are just too darn foolish for them to come to fruition, guess what has happened? That 40 years since Reagan, 40 plus years since Reagan, what we have is a cauterization of anti-intellectualism, the cauterization of the inability to think critically, which means there's a lot more work for progressives and others to do to have people reimagine thinking critically again. Does it have to start from scratch? No, because basic knowledge is basic knowledge. You just have to do a lot of retraining, and in the process you have to do a little bit of scaring. Some people can't understand critical thinking, but they can understand existential pain. So there are times that those are the kinds of things that we're going to have to, have people elect Donald Trump and you die. That's a joke, but in effect, I'm kind of serious about that. Elect Donald Trump and you die. Okay? But that is a position that we're in. Why did I bring that subject up? If we take a look and back up now into the policies that Donald Trump wants to impose now. Deporting 10 million people, undocumented workers right now. Let's start with Social Security. Guess what a large percentage of those people do? A large percentage of those people, they pay into Social Security, and because they're not Americans or green card holding people, in other words, because they're undocumented, they will never see a penny of Social Security. So we have more people paying into Social Security that won't get it back. Is that a good thing? No, it's a bad thing. But what it does is it actually extended the life of Social Security. So in order to justify your hate, the hate that these people have taught others to activate on, they're getting rid of you're putting Social Security at harm. All right, let's continue, because it's not only that. Take a look at Florida. All DeSantis did is write into law that, you know, we're going after undocumented workers, we'll jail them, we'll kick them out, etc. And what immediately happened to the construction industry in Florida? They're now begging people to come into the industry because, you know what? A large plurality of those who are building homes are undocumented. Or even if they're not undocumented, they don't want to go through the hassle of what it means to be an undocumented worker. I want you to think about that. So in all the places where we need new constructions, you know, Texas is one of those states where more people are moving in than moving out. Florida is one of those states where more people are moving in than moving out. In fact, that is the reason why they're getting, in the case of Texas, I think we got 2 more congressional districts because of the growth of Texas.